Hey everyone, welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora, and on today's video we are working on a new island and a new theme. Long story short, my sweet little girl was sick for the last couple of days and I was not able to basically be on any of my socials due to it. So to pass time and to try to stay awake and take care of her, I decided to try out a new theme, and I'm actually enjoying it way more than my other island currently. So if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been working on a different tropical theme, and I'm still planning to work on that. I'm just not sure when that's going to be quite yet, since I'm going to be grinding this new island. I just absolutely love the color scheme and just how happy and beachy it feels. And today we are going to make a crud ton of progress on this island. So this video might be a little bit longer than my normal speed builds just because I got quite a bit done today. My new tropical island is called SLATEPORT, and it's actually inspired by slowtownwisp on Instagram. Long story short, again, we did a summer ideas video and their island really inspired me. Now, many of y'all know I've been a sucker for this ocean code since the ocean lookout video that we did on my channel, and I've been really wanting to use it, but I just didn't know what kind of vibe I wanted to go for and if I even wanted to do something beachy or coastal. Then I saw the beautiful combination with Colin.Crossing's light gray roads and it sold me. So I am going for basically a elegant vibe beachy coastal town. I might use some of the medieval items into this to kind of make store builds and lots of brick tones just in general. I don't really know what my plan is, but I'm gonna try to keep it very focused on layout and decorations. I want there to be a lot of terraform and a lot of detail involved, so hopefully all of my ideas will fit onto this island. I also want to add that ocean lookout that we did on that video too onto this island, so I'm gonna probably be prepping out a edge of my map spot for this too. Like every video I usually post, I will have every single code that I'm using in the video's description, as well as anybody I take inspiration from on the builds that I make on this island. So make sure you definitely are checking the video's description for all that important information. Next, I want to quickly talk about what my plan is for themes in general. So as you know, I started this new island and I'm probably going to be grinding it out because I feel very inspired right now. And Animal Crossing burnout is very common, especially for creators like me who literally build on this game almost every single day, and so I don't want to lose that inspiration and that motivation to play. So we're going to grind this island out, and then I'm going to see if I'm ready to return to Palmwood, which is the colorful Florida-like vibed tropical city. I'm going to see if I'm ready to go back to that. If I'm not, I'm kind of tempted on working on my New York theme finally. So I know that a lot of you have been waiting for that island to reappear on my channel, and that is definitely in the plans. Next, I'm wanting to do some sort of a abandoned city. Now, I'm waiting for codes still that I'm hoping to use on that island, so we can't really start that until I get all the codes that I want to use. So those are currently my plans right now. The next thing I want to add is another comment I've been getting quite a bit on a lot of my videos is real-time speed videos, so no speed builds. I suggest if you are somebody needing slower content to have your notifications turned on for my live streams. I am going to be streaming from now on Wednesdays and Saturdays at Central Time Zone, normally in the evenings because my sleep schedule is constantly screwed up. I realistically cannot do all of my speed builds at real time. Today's video took me nearly all day to do. So this is about 7 hours of footage, and it's just realistically, I can't post that. But if you want longer and slower content and just to hang out and maybe ask some questions of something you might be struggling with, definitely tune into those live streams because those go on for a few hours, but it's easier to address comments and all those things on a live stream. So sadly, speed builds will just have transitions and cannot realistically be as long like in normal time because I have to edit so much out, like me pacing in my island, me changing my mind on items. So there's a lot of reasons and things that go into why I just can't post a normal time video. Alrighty, so now that I'm done addressing all of those things, and if you're still here with me, which I hope you are, we're going to talk about what I'm doing on today's build. So the fountain area was actually inspired by my tropical bay city. I just really love that centerpiece. I wanted to recreate it and have like a more beachy approach to it. So I absolutely wanted that back onto this island. There is a lot of builds that I do want to recreate on this island and just improve them in general. So you're definitely going to be seeing that happen. A lot of layouts that may have not made it onto some of my islands in the past. So definitely be ready to see some familiar looking layouts. But today we are going to be working and focusing a lot on this highway in transitional areas. I love making highways because they fill up so much space and they look really realistic. So I'm going to be working on that. And again, the highway that I'm working on is going to be inspired by Colin.Crossing and theavagarden on Instagram. Once again, everybody is going to be linked in the video's description if you want to go check them out. And I definitely recommend it because if it wasn't for their builds, I wouldn't have had this inspiration today. So once I get the highway adjusted, you're going to see me go back and forth quite a bit. When I decorate, I change my mind constantly on placement and layout, so I will definitely be transitioning as needed throughout this video. But I am going to be going up 5 hedges, so 5 squares in between each of these street lamps. And then the 6th tile is going to be the bush color. And we're just going to rotate this. And you are definitely not limited to the summer theme. I feel like this would look so great during the fall. Make adjustments for fall colors. This would even look beautiful in spring season. So definitely make adjustments as needed. And keep in mind that even if you're not doing a tropical theme, a lot of my builds can work for other themes. Like my first tropical video of this new island not too long ago was actually inspired by my cherry blossom city. I recreated the cherry blossom city's entrance on a tropical theme. So this is why I'm always encouraging y'all to check all the videos, just because you might get some layout and filler ideas for your island. So once I adjust these castle walls, I want to add that the illusion for the highway tunnel is just 2 castle gates. So it's going to look like the cars are going underneath the terraform. I honestly wish that we had bridge options where we could actually walk underneath of them. Nintendo really slacked with that feature. I felt like that would be such a fun feature on naturals and city islands. So maybe in the next Animal Crossing game, we can see something like that happen. The next step to this build before we work on the other part of the highway is by placing down a ton of sand path. You're going to need to do this because the sand actually gives texture for the water code to make it look like there's waves and the water is moving. You cannot miss this step or the water will not look as realistic. The sand path is also really important because we're going to need that to capture the illusion that this is a beachy vibe and that there is sand, especially for the little details that we're going to be adding where the rocks are breaking up the water. So you'll see that in a little bit, but I'm going to be placing sand only around the edges of the road because you don't need to do the whole entire area with sand right here, but we need to put it underneath the tiles so there's no grass gaps or anything underneath. We don't want there to be any weird gaps, especially with the water code, so this is why I am placing it only under the edges of the road. The water path is honestly super easy to use, but if you are new to Animal Crossing and you need some help on how to place natural paths, don't worry, I'm going to slow down this footage just so you can kind of get the idea of how to place it. Honestly, there's no set way to do it, just place it however you choose to. Just remember to keep it natural and don't repeat the same pieces over and over or it will not look like the water is moving. So I'm going to quickly place the realistic corner pieces and then we're just going to fill in with the base centerpiece. You're going to need both of the blue centerpieces because these actually add the illusion that the water is sparkling. So I'm just placing the first one down and then I'm going to go over with a bigger centerpiece that has like a big white sparkle in it, and that is going to make it look like the water is glistening in the sun. And I just place those randomly throughout as I find spots for them, so you'll see me do that later, but make sure you're grabbing all the water pieces, you're going to need them. Once I fill in with all the blue tile over here, I'm going to fill in the other side with the sand just like we did on the other side, and then this is where we're going to start adding some more water details. I'm going to basically copy the same placement and layout on the edges just like we did here where I'm placing bushes on the other side. You can definitely decorate this however you choose to, but this is the look that I liked the best. So once I fill in everything, this is where I'm going to start adding those little center pieces and extra details where the waves are hitting extra rock details. I'm going to displace this actually wherever I find is convenient. You're just going to be placing the outer corners and then filling in with the inner corners just like we did where the trees are in the shrubs. So it's the same idea, just making a perfect circle, or you can mix it up and do some funky shapes, which you'll see me do later. Basically, our whole process is expanding the water code and adding water details and more castle walls as needed. So I originally had about 20 squares for the land bridge, but we're going to be expanding it out more. You can adjust the dimensions as needed for the space that you have on your island, but I just wanted to let y'all know that there is going to be a lot of adjusting going around, and I wing all of my builds. I honestly just never know the exact dimensions to anything because I'm always changing it. So try to follow along and keep your eyes on the footage and pause it as needed to recreate any of my videos. Now I'm going to frame in the sides with log stakes and kind of like adjust them and rotate them as needed. This just adds a little more extra detail and realism to the build so it's not all looking the same. And once I line both sides with the log stakes, we're just going to add some more road details and work on some more water decorations in general. Once again, as we work on today's video, I'm reminding you this video is going to be a lot longer than my usual content because I got so much done today. This is the most productive I've been on an island in a very long time. And that is usually because I'm having fun with it. I am having so much fun with this island. I just love the beachy approach to it. It's very out of my comfort zone and a little bit different. I don't really do structured or elegant like islands, and this is definitely going to have a lot of elegant vibes to it. And it's just been such a fun theme to do. So I just love how happy the colors are and how beachy and summery it feels. So I hope you're enjoying this video and island so far with me today. If you are, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button because we're going to be sharing more of this island throughout the week. Now that I have that lookout spot done, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the highway some more, and I'm obsessed lately, especially ever since my tropical bay city, with placing the yacht item behind the mini car. I just feel like that looks so realistic, like the car is pulling the boat itself. And this expanding process took me a good amount of time, and what I'm doing is expanding the highway out as needed, the same hedge and bush rotation throughout the highway, and I'm going to be also expanding out the water code. I'm going to be transitioning, just so you know, that is what I did differently, so y'all are not confused on what I did throughout that transition. So on the other side of the highway, I am working on this really cute little small parking spot, and this is actually a filler area, and this is also going to be a transitional spot to the end of our highway. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill all of this in and decorate it. You can definitely change some of the decor if you need to, but I felt like this was such a great filler area, especially for such an awkward spot. So I did about 3 squares of that tile code, and then I placed an incline, and then we covered the terraform with more of the breeze block simple panel code. And now I'm just adding some minor edits and details to this location, and then we're going to decorate the sides of the parking lot. After you rotate between the iron fence and the plant partition, 2 of each, we're going to then start blending out where the incline is. I am just so happy though with how all of this turned out. I actually had to restart from my Instagram post that I posted yesterday because I didn't have enough space to do the transitional area from the parking lot. So I had to move and relocate the build, and I honestly love this version so much more. It's pretty much identical to my Instagram post, but I did make a couple improvements and dimension changes, especially where the incline is on the part where you get onto the highway. So I'm very happy and pleased just with how all of this turned out. I have so many ideas and decorations planned for this whole entire island, but definitely let me know in the comment section some build ideas you hope to see on this island. The feedback truly does help. The next thing I'm doing is actually prepping a spot for an incline to go down to the secret beach. This is actually the first time I've ever put effort into making the secret beach not only be decorated but also reach. So I'm actually very excited about this transition, and we're also going to be doing a perspective with a lighthouse near it. So I'm very excited with just how this whole entire area turns out later, because I feel like it adds so much more dimension and texture to the whole entire layout. Keep in mind, I'm going to be going nuts with terraform and decor on this island, so hopefully y'all can follow along and just get some ideas too. So I went ahead and expand the highway out, and this is how I finished it and ended the highway in general. Then I'm doing a simple transitional spot where the incline is. It's not going to have any fancy angles because I didn't want it to be too complicated and just too much going on in a small location. Not sure what I'm doing with that big empty spot near the incline quite yet. I was thinking of maybe my house or maybe a lifted up villager home. I'm not sure, so leave me some ideas for that location in the comment section. I have no idea what my plan is after this video. I'm just going to see what happens and go with the flow and record as I play. But we're going to be expanding out the water code once again, and we're going to do some water decorating and get started on that lighthouse. This process actually took me a long time to do, so again, I'm going to have to do some transitions in between each spot that we work on. So now it's time to work on our lighthouse area. No idea what my plan is after this video for this location, but we are going to be expanding the raised up dock area and placing a lighthouse at the end of it. And then on the other side where that grass is, I'm actually going to be bringing more of that water code on the other side and transitioning it and blending it out into the actual water. You're going to see how that looks as I transition the footage as needed. We're going to layer once again with safety railing on the very top level, and then I'm going to do it on the other side as well with the fence combination that you're seeing in front. So I decided on a red lighthouse because I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Sword lately, and I just loved the beach town where they had a red lighthouse. So I was like, oh, I really want to incorporate that onto SLATEPORT. So that is just kind of like a little happy and Easter egg for me since I'm really enjoying my second playthrough of Pokemon Sword. Next, after I add water details, you see where that weird gap is with the grass and sand. I'm going to be covering that with the wheat item in green, and that is just going to really blend this out and just add a lot more texture to the build. So we're going to go ahead and transition to that. And now after adding a few more details, we're going to do a quick walkthrough of everything we did on today's video. I truly hope that this gave you some inspiration, not only for your island, but just to play in general. Let me know what your favorite location was in the comment section below, and again, some ideas you hope to see on this island. I honestly still can't believe how much progress I got done today. Normally, I do not make this much progress on an island at all. I usually have to force myself to build and play, and today everything just came so natural to me. And I feel like that is the best part about Animal Crossing. You want to feel that way when you play and just build in general. So hopefully this brings you some motivation and encouragement that sometimes taking a break and finding your theme happens very unexpectedly. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Have a horrible day.